Hey, good morning, everybody. Mr. Mitchell here. Today's a Tuesday, and in class today, all I did was hand back the work that we attempted last time we were together. It looks like this on paper. It's graphing equations of lines, and I'm going to make a move in the room because I've got students here. Hey, Kayla, would you do me a favor and turn the lights off for the far? There's a switch over there that says far, so I can see the board a little better. Thank you. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 12 students in class today. What we're doing is if people got to this assignment or they're in school for the day, I handed back some feedback on correct and incorrect answers. And now I want to talk to you again about it because the opportunity is to correct it. I basically want to get everybody up to 100 in the book. I'm not taking off points for the first ones we missed. There are some placeholder grades in there for people that didn't make it to school today or don't get back to me. But basically, I want to give everybody the 100 by completing this, which gets us ready for our test. And suddenly we're going to be moving on from algebra in this class. It's going to happen quicker than you think. I was just telling the class, though, that this first page, it's not really easy using the technology tools because graphing calculators and websites are set up for equations, and this offers x-intercepts and y-intercepts. But let's cover half of them so we kind of know what we're doing in case this went over your head at home. If this says my x-intercept is -1, that's a point where here, I guess I'll zoom in a little bit. That just means that a line crosses the x-axis at -1. If it says my y-intercept is 5, then I go to 5 on the y-axis. Okay. Desperate times. All Mr. Mitchell has is a pencil as a straight edge. So I've now added that. And that is enough. If I have an x-intercept and a y-intercept, I have 2 points to make a line. Phone's ringing, so I'm going to hit pause. On we go. Sorry for the phone call. So if I have an x-intercept and a y-intercept, that's 2 points on a line, and I can graph it. Let's look at 4. We're going to do about half on the page. It says x-intercept is positive 5. Positive 5 is to the right, 5 spots. Y-intercept, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's numbered for me down there. If I have 2 points, I can make the line. And if you're just getting this exercise at home, the people here in class, once they tried a few of these, they found a nice rhythm. Number 5, x-intercept of 1. So that's the x-axis intercepted by a line at 1. Y-intercept of -1. I've got 2 points. They're right next to each other, but 2 points are enough to make a line. Okay, so that's the first page. That's what she looks like. Second page, last time we worked on this assignment, we were doing this by hand, but I'm going to show you a technology tool that we were just practicing in class here that has helped people. Okay, if you turned in your work at home as a picture, I've gone over it for feedback. I left it as a private comment in your Google Classroom. And this one came up on a lot of people's work, this number 7 right here. People said, I don't know what to do with this, Mr. Mitchell. You're telling me that this is the form of a linear equation and all I have is -3x. Okay. The truth here is that there's no y-intercept because it's a +0. There's none listed because it's +0. And there's a point at the 0, 0 line. That's where the line crosses the y-axis, is at +0. If you're not sure what I'm talking about with these letters, M, B, Y, and X, have a look at our lessons or the Khan Academy exercises that were recent. Well, let's go to the tech tool. Okay. So I think this will work if I just bring in my calculator right on top. I think you'll be able to see that. The website here that is helpful, I'll put it in the Google Classroom also, but it looks like this. Desmos.com/calculator, or if you just search Desmos, this is going to come up for you. Okay, so I'm going to move this back out of the way. Pause it if you need that web address. And now I'm looking back at my sheet, and this is what I had. Y equals negative 3x. And suddenly I have my answer. And indeed, this is at 0, 0. It gives me a point. Now I look around and I want to see other places where this line touches the grid. This is one. Let's see, I guess I can. Ooh, if you hold down your mouse, you'll get really precise numbers. There. There is a grid touched at -1, 3. So I can graph both of these, and now I have an answer for my graph. And I got it from a website. 0, 0, and -1, 3. And that's true. The slope of this line is a -3. It goes down 3 and over 1. And so this is the line. All right, without so much talking, less talky, more worky. Let's just, I'm a student at home. I'm looking at number 8, y equals x. This confused some people. I'm going to bring that up. Okay, all I have to do is change this. This is y equals x. Over 1, up 1. I'm holding down my mouse button and it tells me second point is 1, 1. So I flip back, y equals x. 0, 0 was on the graph, and 1, 1 was on the graph. And if the x value equals the y value, it's all of these. -5, -5, 5, 5. These are all on the line if I drew it straight through the point. If I could draw a straight line. That's y equals x. It kind of splits this quadrant in half. Okay, so those are the two weirdos. Let's look at a couple more that are, let's see, kind of normal looking ones. Maybe normal looking. Well, this one's got an 8 in it. That's not always fun to do a slope of 8. Y equals -8x minus 5. All right. Back to my website. Desmos, -8x minus 5. And there she is. -5 is my y-intercept. My slope is -8. Up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over 1. So there should be a point here. I guess you have to be real close. -1, 3 is on this graph. Flip back to my piece of paper. -1 and 3. And then -5 was also on the graph. Okay. So a digital tool that can help us graph these. If in the last, so there's another 7 to go on that. If on the very last here, you're looking for the equation, I think we can reverse engineer this to give you some help. It's going to take a little more thought. I need an equation for this. Well, what we did the other day was look where the y-intercept is. It's at a position of 2. That's the B. And then we count boxes to get our slope. And this was tricky for a lot of people. The only other point we found that was on this line was right at the edge of the grid down here. So our slope was down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's down 4. And to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the left would be a negative also. It's rising from left to right. This is a slope of 4 over 5. Negative 4 divided by negative 5. I'm using the sign of what I went down, that's a negative, and left is a negative. Same slope as going up 4 and over 5. So this is the method by hand. Y equals 4 over 5x plus 2. That's the equation of that line. But if I've got a picture like this, I can start tinkering with the website also. I can kind of reverse engineer what I'm looking at. I need to change my equation until I get a line here. Okay, what if I put in x plus 1? Yeah, I'm on my way. I just need it 1 up. Maybe this website will remind me that plus 2 will give me something here. But it's not exactly the same slope as what I'm looking at on paper. That slope is not as steep maybe as the one I'm looking at. We discovered here on paper that it's 4 over 5. But let's see if we can figure out on this. So I need a point at negative 5, negative 2. My line needs to go through this point. Oh, I couldn't drag it, but I think we're going to get there. Negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2, 1, 2. I need to change my slope until I get a point there. Negative 5, negative 2. Okay, well, I want a shallower slope, so maybe that's a smaller number than 1. So maybe I would try 3 divided by 4. It's close. It's down 1 3/4 or so. Gosh, what's smaller than 3/4? So here you'd be tinkering with the fraction. 2 over, let's go 2 over 5 maybe. Change this to a 5. Oh, too shallow. Okay. And the idea would be that you keep tinkering with this until you get this target point where my arrow is, it's here, negative 5 down 2. This is what I'm looking for. I want that to be the line where it crosses the grid. So between the paper and this tool, tinkering with different lines, I hope you can get there. There's a y-intercept at 0, 2, and then there's a second point on the grid at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to the left 5, down 2. Negative 5, negative 2. And now if you kind of quickly memorize this slope, what it looks like, and I switch back over to our problem, it's pretty similar to 17. That's enough talking for me. Folks at home, the idea is to correct your work and resubmit. Even if you send in a picture, I gave you feedback. You can change what you had as an answer. Maybe even just sketch them on one piece of paper, send it back to me as a fresh image, or make changes on what you did yesterday, and I'll have another look. Folks in class will be adjusting theirs so that they get the 100, and then we're going to move on to another topic today. I appreciate your work. We think about you at home. Bye for now.